Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's first webinar of our series Copernicus Marine Essentials. So my name is Gaëlena Sterbeek, and I'm a Training and Capacity Development Officer at Mercator Ocean International, and I'll be one of your hosts for today. As you know, we will have a series of 3 online webinars, and today we will have an introductory session, where we'll tell you almost everything about what the Copernicus service is about. Before we start, we are going to go through some house rules and guidelines to help you follow this webinar in the best possible way. So first, please do not use the chat that you see on your right-hand side for your questions. You can use it for small talk or to say hello to us, but if you have a more technical question or if you have any other type of question, we will use the Q&A section on the website. So you will find it on the top bar of the web page. And so when you click on the Q&A button, you will see an area dedicated to the Q&A, and that's where you can ask our speakers your question today. As you know, we will have one Q&A session at the end of the day. So one Q&A session for all of the speakers. So if you could write which speaker your question is for, we would deeply appreciate it. And next to it, you will also find a survey about this first webinar that you can answer at any time. Another point concerning the Q&A, so today we will try a new thing, which is giving you the opportunity to speak directly with the speakers. So to do that, we will use the function raise your hand on Zoom, on the Zoom bottom bar that you can find. And during the Q&A session, we will give you the microphone for a maximum of 3 minutes for you to discuss with the speakers. And so please, we ask you to use this function for relevant questions about the presentation or the Copernicus Marine Service. And we also advise you to put your question in the Q&A type that I've shown you earlier. Like that, we can save them if we don't have time to answer all of your questions today. And so now I will give the floor to the second host of the day, so Daria Andrzejewska from Noveltis. Hi, Daria.
Hello, everyone. Well, my name is Daria. I'm from Noveltis. I'm going to be your second moderator today. And well, for the rest of the workshop guidelines, first of all, on the website of this webinar and this event, this series, you will have guidelines. So how to access the event while you're already here, so already good. But there's also some information about frequently asked questions, also information about availability of replays of these webinars, and about certificate of attendance. And additionally, there's a tab for resources where you can find some useful links for Help Center or some related information to what's going to be discussed today by our speakers. And for the speakers today, we'll have me, we have Gael, as you already know, and then we have our 4 speakers. So first is going to be Aurora Biardo. She's a product owner from Mercator Ocean. She will present you a tools and services overview. Following will be Cedric Jordan from Mercator Ocean as well. He's a user support manager, and he's going to be responsible for user corner and e-learning materials presentation. And then we'll have our use case panel discussion. So we have our 2 guest speakers who will first present their work, and then we will have a panel discussion and a Q&A session with them. So first is Anna Matulka from Puertos del Estado. She's the head of division at Forecasting Systems and Predictions. And then we have also Riccardo Martellucci. He's a researcher at National Institute of Oceanography and Applied Geophysics. So first is Gael. She will present you an overview of Copernicus Marine Service. Gael.
Hello again. So it's going to be a quick introduction about what the Copernicus Marine Service is about. So just to introduce you to the service if you're not familiar with it yet. So Copernicus is a program created by the European Union. So it's a European fully funded program dedicated to the observation of the Earth and to better understand different systems of the planet. So it includes the 6th service, So we have the Atmosphere Monitoring Service, the Marine Environment, the Land, the Climate Change, and the Emergency Management and Security Services. All of these services are managed by different entities of the Copernicus program, and obviously Mercator Ocean International oversees the Copernicus Marine Monitoring Service, and it provides information and free of charge open source data products about all of these different systems of the Earth, and you can obviously access and download the data for free. So how do you access the service? So it's through its website. It's free to, as I said, it's free to access the website and download any product. And there you will find an extensive catalog of products. All of them are scientifically qualified and they are user-driven, so they are constantly upgraded and improved. And we also take into account the experience of users of the service. Briefly about what kind of data you can find. So the Copernicus Marine Service provide data on the blue, the green, and the white ocean. So the blue is all about the physical component of the ocean, so the currents, the temperatures, the wave, the wind. The white ocean is about ice, so ice coverage, ice velocity, ice concentration. And the last one, so the green ocean, is the biogeochemical component of the ocean. So all that has to do with the phytoplankton, the nutrients, the chemical composition, and everything like that. Also briefly, so you can find that these are just a few examples of the data provided on the website, but we also have several data in terms of temporal and geographical coverage. So the type of data the Copernicus Marine Service provide, it's quite varied. So you have in situ data, you have also satellite observations, which are used then to validate the model data. And you can find data that are measured right now, so which we call real-time data. But we also have data from the past, so all the way back to 30 years. Which we call reanalysis or multi-year data. And finally, the Copernicus Marine Service also provide forecast data 10 days into the future. And yeah, and in terms of geographical coverage, you have 5 areas or 6 regions, as you want to call it. So the global region all around the world, and then smaller areas all around Europe. And the data and information the Copernicus Marine Service provides respond to different needs and market, as you want to call it. So they go from science and innovation to policies, but also to coastal services or economy sectors. And I will stop right there for the overview, but my colleagues that go just after me will offer you a bit more details during the next presentation. But yeah, just so you know, it's a series of 3 webinars. So each webinar will dive deeper into the Copernicus Marine Service. So yeah, don't forget to come back for the rest of the series.
Thank you, Gaëlle. It was a very nice presentation. And now we have Aurore Biardot from Mercator Ocean, who will present you tools and services overview of Copernicus Marine Service. Hello, Aurore.
Hello, everyone. I hope you all see and hear me well. I'm just sharing my presentation. So I work at Mercator Ocean International as well, mainly on the catalog and data management topics. And I will present you the tool and services overview. So we are going to travel a little bit in the Copernicus Marine web portal to have a general view on which are the main services we can have access to. So we are going to talk about the Ocean Climate Portal, about use cases as well, about ocean explainers, the Ocean State Report, and ocean monitoring indicators. So to begin with, as Gaëlle said, this is the homepage of the Copernicus Marine web portal. So as Gaëlle said, it is open and free data on the ocean. And Just to mention that the common format of all the data you can have access to is netcdf format. And there are more than 300 products. We will see just after what we call a product. And so to begin with, we are going to visit the first box, which is called Ocean Products. And if we click on the first box, you can see in red, we access to this catalog. So you have access now to the full products catalog. So what we call a product is actually a set of data with inside can be one or more data sets. And it's associated to all the descriptive information, which we call metadata, which describes what is inside the product. So you can filter on this catalog on a lot of different topics. For example, the geographical areas, the variables you want to search. So as Gail mentioned, you have the blue, the white, and the green variables. So you can choose what you want to see or what you want to download. You can also choose the sources, the time range, and so on. But I will not go very deep into the data store because it will be presented in the next session by a colleague. So I will focus on the other services associated to the Copernicus Marine web portal. So now we will travel into the second box, which is called Ocean State Report. So this is actually a report like a book or PDF format. It's not netcdf data, it's a report. And it's about the state of the ocean, the natural variations, and it summarizes all the changes of the ocean, mainly due to climate change. So it's published annually. You have an update every year of this report. It's written and validated by more than 150 scientists from all over Europe, from different institutions. And it's about the global ocean, but with a specific focus on all the European seas. So this is, I just put a screenshot so you can have an idea how it looks. And also the link to directly access to it. And what is good to know is that the summary is also available. So the summary may be more, so it's a shorter document, maybe more interactive or attractive with infographics. If you want to have a look at the summary, it's only a few pages, so maybe it's also good. And it's also sorted by blue, green, and white ocean, and you have different type of data and information inside this report. And this can be available to the general public, but also, for example, the policymakers, and it's very it's intended to be read by a very wide audience. So now we are going to come back to the homepage and travel into the third box, which is called Ocean Climate Trends. So in this box, you can see there are two links available. So the first one is called Ocean Monitoring Indicators. So we are going to see what are those indicators. So actually, what we called the ocean monitoring indicators are key variables for monitoring the ocean trends, mainly in relation to climate change as well. So it's not a report anymore, but it's already data. And it can be in the form of a map or a chart, or even downloadable data set. I will show you just in the next slide. So we call that the ocean vital signs because it's key data on the health of the ocean. So I will show you later. As everything on the Copernicus Marine Service, the datasets are free for download. They cover the past 30 years. And as well, there is either a global coverage or a regional focus on the European seas. So here are some examples. So you can see the examples of the topics the monitoring indicators can cover. So for example, the ocean acidification with the pH, but also the ocean heat, the sea level rise, sea ice extent, Arctic freshwater, and so on. I invite you to browse into this specific catalog. As you can see, the ocean monitoring indicators can have a form of a map, like the first one on the left, or a trend. Yeah, so I think that's all for monitoring indicators. And now we are going to go into the second link of this box, which is called Ocean Climate Portal. So this portal is kind of an alternative view of the key variables indicators, but this time through interactive graphs and data. I will show you just after. And you also can have access in this portal to explanations on why these indicators are essential to monitor the ocean and to understand how it changes and what's going on. So for example, if you click on the Ocean Climate Portal, you land on the picture on the left. You have the different variables that are monitored. And I've chosen the example of the ocean carbon uptake. So you can have access to very, I would say, clear infographics to understand a little bit and to be able to understand and communicate on the carbon absorption for here, for example. You also have main figures linked to that and description about what is the problem with bullet points and explanations and what is the impact. So you can browse to sea level, Arctic sea ice extent, and so on in this climate portal. And then you also can have access to what we call the ocean explainers. So it's a little bit linked to the climate portal. I will show you here. So the ocean explainers are also information on various ocean-related topics, but it's more information. It's not figures. It's more to understand, for example, why is the ocean important? What is operational oceanography? There is also a glossary which is available, which can be very useful with some of the ocean-related terms and their definitions, or some scientific terms and their definitions. Also, a list of the different policies, European policies, which are involved in the oceans, and so on. So for example, here I've chosen the topic of plastic pollution, which is a topic covered in the ocean explainers. So it looks like that. You have a small text which describes what is plastic pollution and how it impacts biodiversity and so on. You have also summaries of the problem, the impact, and what could be solutions. And for each of the topics covered in the ocean explainers, you have access to an infographics, which I think it's quite clear on well, which summarize also what are the consequences of the plastics and so on. So you can see the plastic pollution infographics on the right. And also for this one, I also encourage you to visit this page and to explore. So you can learn a lot on what is linked to the oceans and oceans issues. So now we are going to take a short detour on the use cases. So you can see at the top of the Copernicus homepage, the use cases link. So what are the use cases? It's actually real world application of Copernicus Marine data. So we provide in this page written stories that can showcase how the Copernicus Marine data is applied in different application in the real life, I would say. So if we click on it, we have access to a catalog of use cases, and each box can be clicked on, and you can have access to a description of the use case, which company or which institution is implementing it. And I will not go really into detail because you will see some of them after. But you can see that there is a very wide range of applications of the Copernicus Marine Service. It can be for research application. It can be for example, search and rescue. Also for, I don't know, mapping the plastics and so on. So there is a specific page for that, and you can also filter on the region or the market you want to target if you want to visit this page. And then we are going to see now also briefly the fourth box, which is called Ocean Visualization. So this is, I would say, maybe the funniest box which you can play with. So you have access to 3 different visualization tools. They allow you to actually visualize the ocean data on maps. You will see that. There are 3 different possibilities. The first one is for beginners. It's called My Ocean Learn. It's the globe with only main variables. The second one is an intermediate planisphere for intermediate users. And the third one is mostly for, it's called the expert planisphere. It's for people who already know a little bit about ocean data, but it's very interesting to explore this one as well. And on the third one, you can access to the full catalog with all the products. So you have a link between the visualization tools and the data catalog. You can have access to the data either by going to the catalog that I showed you in the beginning, or via the visualization tool. So it looks like that. So on the left bottom left corner, you have the beginners tool that displays here the salinity. So you can see it moving maybe. The tool that is displayed on the main page with the temperature is the Pro Viewer, so the expert tool, on which you can see the seawater potential temperature. And so, as I said, on this one, you can explore the entire catalog. You can have a lot of different features. For example, you can zoom on the polar view for Arctic and Antarctic. You can export images or even videos. You can export data, select a geographical area and export data only from this area, and access to graphs. So it's very powerful. And I think you will have also sound somewhere. I think you will also have a presentation dedicated on those tools, so I will not go very much in detail for that. And I will finish with this. So I presented the main services, but there are more services that can be available for you. So you can have access to all those services by clicking on the so on the homepage on the service link. And as you can see on the right, you can have access to a wide range of different information, links to the Copernicus Marine Service. And yeah, that's all for me. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. So now we are moving to our next speaker. I'm going to Cédric Girardin from also Mercator Ocean, and he's going to present you user corner and e-learning materials. Hello, Cédric.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Nice to meet you. So I'm Cédric Girardin from Mercator Ocean. I manage the user support activities, among others. And I will give you an overview of the user corner section. So welcome to the Copernicus Marine Service website. So at the top menu, there is a user corner entry. I click on it, and you reach several boxes. The first one is getting started. So in this box, you will find a sum up of the offer with the ocean products, state report, indicators, and visualization as presented by Aurore just earlier, and an operational path to discover the data and the services. So you can search data, visualize, download, etc., with useful links to reach the right resource. Okay. Oh, sorry, I have something to do. Okay, so I come back to the user corner. The second box is a really important one because clicking on it, you will reach the help center. So it is really, really an important resource because all the details on the services are available in this section. So the articles, there are more or less 200 articles. They are sorted in different collections depending on the subject. So for example, there is a collection to download the data, to visualize the data, etc. You can search using keywords in the search bar here. So for example, if I go to the Copernicus Marine Data Download collection, I have sub-collection as well to getting started, and a specific collection about the Copernicus Marine Toolbox. It is a tool to download the data. So you click on the sub-collection and getting started, for example, and you have article to install the toolbox to execute table, etc. So I click, for example, to installation, to read the article with many information to video or video or text to install the toolbox, to use it, etc. So it is really an important section, the help center. The third one is the user notification service. So in this box, you will find all the operational events regarding the services and the data, sorted in different categories. So general, improvement, incidents, and maintenance. So I click, for example, on incidents. I have here all the ongoing and past items regarding the incident on the product and service. I click on the title, and I have here the product impacted and the status of the incident, and we will follow up this item to give the information the most accurate as possible. In this section, you can subscribe a RSS feed. And so, for example, if I select, I activate some filters, and I can make my view as an RSS feed, and then it's possible to be informed automatically on the incident and maintenance on my product of interest. So this service is really useful, and so we encourage you to use it to be informed automatically on incident and maintenance. I'll come back to the corner. The next box is the user learning services. So here you will find an introduction on the capacity development activity, and clicking on next training here, you will reach a section you know, because will have the list of all the events regarding the Copernicus Marine Service and the Copernicus Marine Essentials. And there is as well a Jupyter environment here. It explains you how to create your local Python environment, because the Copernicus Marine Service Jupyter Hub is available for a limited 2 weeks period during a training, and then after you will need to create your own local Python environment. Come back to the other corner. So e-learning materials. In this section, you will find different tutorials, notebooks, etc. to use the services and data. So you can sort by level, beginner, intermediate, or advanced, by subject, by tool, so Jupyter Notebook, video tutorial, etc. And then you can click on the box of your box of interest, and for example, you will find here a tutorial video about the the thermal aligned circulation in the Arctic Ocean. So I'll let you discover this this section, e-learning material. The next one is about product quality. This section is dedicated to the quality of the product. It is a new one. This last version arrived in last January. So you can sort here by area. You can sort as well by the color of the ocean, blue, green, and white, and the parameter. And then over the area selected, you will find several information on the temperature, etc., the variable you have selected. And so this so it's important to discover by yourself this section. So okay, it works, and you can of course contact the support if you have any question. I come back here. The product roadmap. Here you will find the different planned changes for the data, product, and services. Here you have an infographic to give some clues for the next years, and clicking on the access more information, the Copernicus Marine Catalog and Service and Releases button, you will find here more detailed information on the changes will happen during the next releases of the service. So you can sort by date. For example, if I want to know the changes linked to the last November release, I click on it. All the cards are available here. I click on the cards. Up, not this one. I click on this one. I have more information, a specific product of these 5 products that are new since the last release. In a few weeks, you will have a new entry here with the June 2025, because there is a release is planned in June, and the information will be displayed here and in the user notification service. I come back to the user corner. Get inspired here. You will reach the use case area presented by or later. So different examples of the use of the data, depending on the country, the region, the market, etc. So you just have to click on the box selected, and you will reach more information of the use case. Logging and register. I click on it. So to download data, you need to be registered. So the registration is totally free, and the registration is automatic. So you just have to fill in this form, register, and you will receive an automatic email with your credentials to access the data. The service and commitments. So it's just the rules for us and for you to use the data. So the the time we have to answer a question from users, how to cite the products, etc. So you will find this kind of information in this box. The next one is well, I will finish with this one. So last one is data in a nutshell. So in this section, we'll find different infographic to give a sum up of the data and the resolution, etc., depending on the color of the ocean. So this first infographic, all the three colors are mixed, but you can have different infographic by color. So I click on the second one, for example, or not. See, yes. So there is a legend on the left, depending on the color for the area, depending on the square for the resolution, etc., etc. So it's a new method to present the offer and the data. So I'll let you discover this infographic. And the last box is how to contact the support. So to contact the support, so there is here a link to the help center, a link to the online tutorials, but to contact us, do not hesitate at the top right of all the pages of the website, sorry, there is a chatbot. I click on it. There are 4 different sections. So home with a link to the help center. You can ask a question, different information on the services. News. Here you will find all information about the services. For example, the user uptake highlights for 2024 information, because there is the Cement Essential training, etc., etc. Help here. You will a new entry to the help center. You can search by keyword here. And the last one is messages. So you can ask a question. You will first meet Blue, which is our AI agent. So Blue is directly linked to the help center. So do not hesitate to ask him a question or her question. And of course, you will always have the possibility to talk to a human. So it's important for us to have feedback on Blue, and so do not hesitate to challenge it, her. And if you don't have a good answer by Blue, you can of course direct contact the support, and you will discuss with Leila, Rezak, or Anaïs. So do not hesitate to contact us. It's okay for me. Many thanks.
Thank you, Cédric. So now we are moving to our use case panel discussion. And for this session, we will have our 2 external speakers. I do not see the slides for now, but I hope they are ready. And we will have, as I said, Anna Matulka from Puertos del Estado and Ricardo Montelucci from National Institute of Oceanography and Applied Geophysics. And well, first is going to be Anna. She's going to present you her work, and then we will move to Ricardo and to the panel discussion. So, hi, Anna.
Hello, good morning. First of all, thank you very much. Can you see my, first of all, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, so thank you very much for inviting me to this webinar. And I'm Anna Matulka from Puertos del Estado. Today, I will talk about operational oceanography in Puertos del Estado. About me. So I was studying, I did my PhD in environmental engineering, but I have more than 15 years of experience in atmospheric and ocean modeling. And currently I am head of Division of Forecasting Systems and Prediction at Puertos del Estado. So first of all, I will speak about the importance of the marine physical environment in Spanish ports. as this is extremely, in Spain, this is extremely active marine environmental at coasts like strong waves, tides, and sea level rise, important currents and winds, as well critical in, so this is very critical in multiple socioeconomic sectors like fisheries, sea safety, tourism, etc. So this knowledge of the marine environment is essential for port activities, as in this for this design phase, for construction phase and exploitation phase. So, for example, for design phase, it's very important for basic parameters for instruction design, viability, budget, and execution plans, security of facilities, and operational forecast. For the construction phase, it's very important safety during this construction phase, short-term building planning, etc. And for the explanation phase, so the real-time alert system, it's used for operation and port closing, for piloting, environment management, water quality, oil speed, etc. So at Puertos del Estado, we have this real-time observation network, which contains 15 external buoy network, which operates since 1996. We have 14 coastal buoy network that contains 12 from Puertos del Estado and 2 from ports authorities, and that it operates from 1918. We have 41 radar type tide guards since 1992. 4 high-frequency radars since 2010, and 50 weather stations, which includes Redmar since 2000. So this data, it's in real-time data, but as well we have long historical time series since the 80s for waves, for example. And we have the essential for so those data is essential for alerts, for model validation and climate studies. And this all data, it's integrated into Copernicus Marine Service and other programs. So at Puertos del Estado, we have this traditional system of operational oceanography. So waves we have since 1995, sea levels since 1998, and for the circulation, we use the Copernicus data, which I will talk right now. So as we work for, we are basically focused at ports. So we need to resolve the big scales. So we need to go from the global scales to resolve the small scale. As for the, for example, the mesoscale structures can influence the exchange of water inside ports, or for example, atmospheric pressure in Greece can affect sea level in Valencia, or the agitation and interior point of port in the Cantabria Sea is conditioned by the waves generated in Greenland. So for this, it's very important to resolve the global scales to provide service at the ports. Basically, the framework of the development of port operational oceanography starts from regional EB data. So we nest our coastal and portual domains into Copernicus products of 3 kilometers, and we go through 350 meters of coastal domains till around 70 meters of port domains. So we have this project that was in Samoa initiative, which was the meteorological and oceanography support service for port authorities. This initiative is based on Copernicus data, which we use to provide for coastal and ports domains. And during this project, we I don't know how to explain. We provided these new tools and services for the ports. So, for example, like TMA, that is environmental dashboard, that is operational in 44 ports of Spain, as well oil spill model, or overflows model, circulation for atmosphere, wind 200 meters and 50 meters, atmospheric dispersion, and a long wave or agitation, and as well operational risk, the risk atlas at operational areas of interest. And all this data that we produce, because also we predict data for we run so we produce the data for 74 hours, and all this data we save in the database, and then we share to the users. So this data is the real-time data collection, analysis and prediction, monitoring and quality control. We have this add value services, that alerts and tools to meet the needs of the general public. So we have this website of Puertos del Estado, Portus, that is the daily share. So this is the map that we daily share data there, and it's in real time and for predictions. And then normally we have like 8,000 daily users. We have as well the mobile applications for Apple and for Google, and it's as well real-time data and predictions. We have as well this very potent Portuscopia service that you can massive download data of model outputs, sea level, HF rider data, and so on. And as well, we have this environmental dashboard to support daily operation that it's called CMA, that is Cuadro Medioambiental. And there you can use this data, but you need to register, because we want to know who accesses the data, but it's for free. It's easy to register, and then you can choose what you want to see, which ports you want to check, and what data you want to, what alerts you want to receive. And that's all. Thank you very much for attention.
Thank you, Anna. So now we are moving to Ricardo and his brief presentation. Ricardo.
Hello, everyone. Do you see my screen?
Yes, we do see your screen.
So, thank you. And my name is Riccardo Martellucci, and my research focuses on the interaction between physical and biogeochemical processes. Today, I will share with you some insight from my recent research dealing with the AT2MED demonstration experiment that involved two autonomous surface vehicles from sail drone that traveled from the eastern tropical Atlantic to the Adriatic Sea. As you can see in this map here, the mission starts in the Canary Island and crossed this tropical North Atlantic section and moving to the Mediterranean, encountering different water masses, and superimposed here there is a layer of salinity retrieved by the Copernicus Marine Services, and here you can see the variability for this measure was too high. And we encountered some issue during this experiment. We also take the opportunity to use data from ship survey, ocean glider, and fixed station from different research institute from the European community. And then we also use the Argo data. This is some of the institution involved in the research, and we observed during this 9-month mission a strong sensor degradation, and also the mission occurred between 2019 and 2020. So we have during the period of the COVID-19 restriction. So we were not able to take sample of in the water to validate and correct especially the biogeochemical data. We decided to use the Copernicus Marine Services product to understand the variability and relate our data to the model output. In particular, we use physical product as the Mediterranean high resolution and ultra resolution analysis and forecast for the period of mission, as well as satellite product for temperature and chlorophyll that we use to correct the salinity data. Here are the time series in which you can see the red line represent the original raw data of the sail drone. This is the sail drone, and this is especially in the after the January 2020, we observe a strong degradation. The different line represent the sea datanet climatology that also belong to Copernicus in situ data, and the Copernicus Marine Services model, the Chan line. And our data are outside the range of that we observed, and we try to found some in situ data to correct the data, but we are not very lucky considering the distribution. So we decided to take the physical model to correct this data. We do this because we are certain that the Copernicus model that are able to be corrected through in situ measurement can be very useful, because we can consider every day as sampling measurement for the comparison. We apply a direct comparison, and the result is this. As you can see, the red line are in line with the observation and the data from fixed station that we use in during the experiment. So for the salinity, this was a clearly success. Also, we publish our work in the Earth System Science Data, scientific journal aiming to collect scientific data from different sources. And also we are preparing the paper dealing with the CO2 and processes that we observe in this experiment. So thank you. If you have a question, I'm here for you. That's all.
Thank you, Riccardo. So now we move to panel discussion. Yes, Anna and Riccardo. So we're going to have questions. There are 3 questions that we prepared for our speakers, and well, I'm gonna ask them, and we're gonna answer one by one. We're gonna have slides, probably like questions shown on a screen, so it's more convenient for everyone to see. Do you see the question? Do you see the screen?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, okay, great. So first question is, since you come from different institutions, do you see differences in how Copernicus Marine data is used in your respective fields? So who wants to start?
I can start.
Okay, great.
So, yes, I can see the differences as for example, in my case, we work for the predictions. We predict the ocean, and so as well. So the data is used for like for public safety or environmental protection and policy making or whatever. But for example, in the Riccardo case, so it's more like studying and understanding the ocean, and so like it's more theory. So this is like my opinion, that the differences between what we do here at Puerto Gelesado and what Riccardo do.
My idea is that the ocean system is really complex, and to understand the processes occurring in the ocean, we need to observe these. like the scientific methods proposed. In some case, it's obviously that the best way to observe the ocean is in situ measurement, that high quality of in situ measurement with high resolution, with in term both in spatial and in temporal. But the measurement are have high cost and are also very difficult to obtain, as the ocean is very deep, the pressure is high, and at least but not last, the ocean is salty, and this produces a difficult for the oceanographer to obtain the data. In the last 50 years, the oceanographic community developed a lot of instruments to observe the ocean, but the resolution that we are looking for is not too high because we can't develop all we want in the ocean. And also we have to consider the impact in terms of pollution, because oceanographic cruise produce a lot of pollution during the activities. We overcome this issue using autonomous instrumentation, but we can put all we want in the ocean. And the numerical model are extremely useful because they take the data and they have written following the physical equation that are true and are valid in that specific case. So we can take the data to study the process. We take all the data to take an holistic approach using all available methods. Then we need obviously to compare the different data source to obtain a coherent data set. I have worked much on this. I have used different data source in study the coastal phytoplankton bloom, or study deep ocean, coastal ocean processes or open ocean processes. And the use of model are extremely useful because as the model take the data to make to increase the performance of the model, we can be sure after a test, a statistical test, obviously, that we are a big data set with what we can understand better the processes and have a better representation of this in terms of variability and so on. It's clear that at the moment the model can resolve the macro scale, the mesoscale, and if you are able to take the model of Copernicus and build on this your own model with high resolution, you can also resolve the sub-mesoscale, and these are extremely useful considering that now the science are moving to the small scale to understand the small scale processes and the impact on large scale circulation as something else.
Okay, thank you. That was a very full response. I think we can move to the next question. So second question is, have you encountered any challenges in using Copernicus marine data? And if yes, how did you overcome them?
So yeah, I can start as well. So I will share the screen. 1 second. Yeah. So yeah, we had we had an issue whenever there was this to download the data from Copernicus. We use the Copernicus Marine Toolbox. But this is the new Marine Toolbox. Before we were using different ways. It was the Motu client. So whenever the Marine Toolbox arrived, we installed this, and everything seems to work very good because we have a lot of domains. But from like months after the installing the toolbox, we had this issue. So as you can see here, the maps. This is the domain of Strait of Gibraltar, where we after some weeks of new data when we started to download, so we found out that from Atlantic there was this cold front coming into the strait, and it was so the data was wrong because there was the drop of the temperature of the strait was very, very high. It was like 10 degrees of difference. So we didn't know what was the problem. First of all, we thought, obviously we thought, yes, it has to be connected with Copernicus, with the Copernicus toolbox. But we couldn't understand why because we have like, I don't know, 70 domains in Spain. So it didn't affect like different domains, only in that one. So we start, of course, the other ones are Samoas, as I spoke about them before. But this one is the Sampa. This is the one project before. So in that case, here how the interpolation of the data is, it's not dynamic like in the other ones. So we found out, speaking with the Copernicus service desk and with Lobelia, that there was like a problem with how the data is interpreting. So for example, before, when we were taking the module, so the request was getting insight, and after with the new toolbox, so the request when we were asking for it was like displaced. So this was very interesting because we had some weeks of really working on that to find out what happened and has to fix it. So basically the help from Copernicus service desk was very useful, and we found out that, so for this model we always have to keep like to check if there's no like differences in data, because we had another issue as well with the same domain in September, I think, last year. So there was the change in the marine data. We using the EP data, so from the Iberian Biscay Island, and there was this issue that they changed some latitude and longitude, and that was again the same problem. So yeah, we had these two issues, quite big issues, but we solved them, and right now everything is working correctly. So thank you.
Okay, great, thank you. Ricardo, you have something to add? Something to say, share? You're muted. Ricardo, sorry, you're muted. We don't hear you.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
So
now it's good.
in my own case, I take the data directly from Copernicus, retrieving NetCDF format. But in some case, I have some problem in download. But the help desk service of Copernicus helped me too much. Also trying to overcome the difficulties I encountered during my work. In what I can see is that it's really simple to obtain the data, and also there are all of the documents related to the quality information, especially from the model, from the satellite, which you can observe the uncertainties of the data. That this is really useful if you want to study and make a process study or something like that. However, in general, I can say that the Copernicus service is incredible. I started with my ocean services long time ago, and now the Copernicus became very user-friendly in this case.
Okay, great. Thank you. Well, the next question, the last question for our panel discussion. So what advice would you give to someone new about using Copernicus Marine data?
Can I start again? Or?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, sure.
Okay, so well, I think the new users, that they can maybe start to understand the basic of the ocean and coastal dynamics, and then familiarize themselves with Copernicus data, like to see what data you have, later how to download, because as Ricardo said, yes, you can obviously download directly the NetCDFs from Copernicus, that it's the original data. In our case, it's easier to download with the Marine Toolbox because we choose the domains. We have different domains and make this automatic. So in our case, it's it's easier to use the toolbox because it's everything automatic. So this is depends on what people want to do. Like if they want to study, maybe it's easier to download original data, but maybe if you do some operational forecasts, so maybe it's better to use the toolbox. And in general, I think to maybe learn a little bit about the service that you have and use all the information and that you have on, because it's very, very good documentation. So I think from my part, that's all.
Okay, thank you. Ricardo?
Okay, if I to advise someone to start using this data, I want to that he or she will be sure that the data are coming from different source like satellite, like model output, and in situ data. And before you use this data, you have to make statistical analysis comparison in terms of analysis for coherence between the different data. After doing this, you can match all the data from different sources. This is really important to do. And that's all.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, just to add,
Cedric, yeah, you.
yes, just to add something. If you are new with the Copernicus Marine Service data and product, so it could be really useful to have a look around the web center. As I told before, many information are available, and of course the support team is available to answer your question and to help to handle data and services.
Okay, thank you for your input. That was all for the panel discussion, and now there's time for Q&A session. So we received a lot of questions in Slido, and as well we will have an opportunity to give you the floor for our participants to speak if someone wants to. So Gael, you want to add something or?
Yeah, no, we will start with the people who raise their hand for the questions, and then we will move on to the Q&A session on Slido with the written question. So, okay, so I hope this will work. We didn't try that before. Okay, so now, Victor, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I think you should be able to talk if you wish to. Hello, we can hear a background noise, but we can't hear you for now.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wanting to know the delay between from the data sets, either from the assimilation or the reanalysis. What is the time delay from getting the data from the actual data himself?
Okay.
So I think it would be more a question for Cedric.
Yes.
So you can have access to different products. You can have access to multi-year products before 2 years before actual date. And then for the real time, it can be up to 10 days in the future. And there can be an overlap between the near real time and the multi-year data set, so you can have continuous data if you need. But I was not sure to, maybe I didn't answer your question, sorry, but.
Yes, yeah, that leads also to another question, which is when you have forecast products, right? Some of them will have overlapping dates, right? Do you store the historical forecasts as well, and we can access each of the forecasts as well, or?
I can
I don't know
if
if
you
you understand.
the all forecasts are not available in the in the catalog, but
Okay.
you can contact the support, and on our side we will contact the producer to give you an access to this all forecast if they are available, because it's not the case for all the products. But in this case, in situation, you can contact us at the support to ask. I would have access all forecast for this product, etc., and we will put you in contact with the producer.
In the assimilation products, right? Only, even on the marine, what is the time delay between the data from the data sources and then making available on the server, either to download or to visualize?
It depends on the product. In fact, you can have this information. You can for each product there are different documents. There is a quality information document regarding the quality of the product and the product user manual. And in this last document, you will have the time of availability of the product and the information. It's not the case for all products. Maybe the information to have you need about the delay between the production and the availability in the catalog. But this information could be in the product user manual.
Okay, thank you.
So thanks a lot, Victor, for your presentation, for your question, sorry. So we will go to someone else, if that's okay with you. Okay, so next question. Okay. So now it should be Leandro, you should be able to talk if you turn on your microphone. For now, you're muted.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. You can listen me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Thank you. I don't have a question, but I needed something is to Ricardo. I search here and see something in your presentation, but I don't see your email. I want your email to talk with you in off, because I have a mini project or something to work with you. If it's possible, please, you can let your email here. Maybe next time or another opportunity, I will call you.
You can find my name on Google Scholar, and you found my my research and then my email, or you can go through the journal I am sharing with you, and then you can find my email. Otherwise, my email is rmartellucci@ogs.it.
All right, thank you. But you are open for any project or opportunity. Oh, let me here show myself. I'm Leandro. I'm oceanography degree. I'm from Mozambique, Africa. So I'm studying something about hydrography, but that project is still. I have a problem in this project, but I need your help to suggest something.
Okay.
Leandro, so I put the link of Ricardo paper on the chat along with the email address if you want to have a look and contact him later with your question if you want.
All right, thank you for this attention.
Welcome. Okay, so we'll go to another question. Okay, so now it's to turn to Niji Gopal. I don't know. I think we can hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I have one question. What are the key insights from the State of the Ocean report that engineers and scientists can benefit from? And my question for Rore ma'am is, can information on ocean algal blooms and phytoplankton be incorporated into the State of the Ocean report?
Hello. So yes, from the Ocean State report, I didn't really go into the details, but for sure you have access to. Sorry, Ricardo, you wanted to.
Yes, I wanted to know because I participated to the last Ocean State
Okay,
report.
so maybe you will be the best person to answer that.
So in that case, the Ocean State report is a collection of scientific paper dealing with the specific event related to the specific year on to produce some indicator useful for the oceanography community to understand better the ocean processes. Every year there is a call which you can participate and build your paper considering the rules of the Ocean State report. So for the next year, maybe at the end of January, there will be a new call for the the number 11 issue of Ocean State report. And you can be your own research using Copernicus data and other product.
Okay, thank you for answering. One more question for Cedric, sir. What are the other parameters are measured besides those listed in the incident and maintenance section, such as microalgal bloom concentration?
Excuse me.
Yes, sorry. I'm not sure to understand correctly.
Are you looking for microalgal data like phytoplankton or something like that? Because in Copernicus you can find output of numerical model dealing with phytoplankton and also satellite measurement, and within the satellite product you can also explore the different phytoplankton classes that with which you can refer to a specific class of phytoplankton. And with the model output, you can also have information about the vertical extension of this data through the use of as an example, Argo data from in situ tag data. You can download data from chlorophyll A, that is a proxy of the phytoplankton. And also there is some algorithms useful to convert the chlorophyll fluorescence signal in the chlorophyll data if you don't have any sample. But in that way, you can find all the information related to the phytoplankton in Copernicus and try to find your own way of research.
Okay, thank you so much for answering.
Okay, thank you, Ricardo and Edie. So we will try another person. Okay, so now it's for Elise Louis. You should be able to speak if you wish to ask your question directly.
Hi, you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you for this opportunity. My name is Elise. I'm from Guinea-Bissau, West Africa. I'm a master's student. I just want to ask a question to our speakers. Consider that Copernicus is it's a European marine organization. My question is this: the variable of data set that we saw on the platform, is it available for like all of countries in Africa? Because we are talking about the satellite measurement and the in situ also measurement. And for the situ, I would like to ask if you have some props or machine that you already install in African's marine sites or somewhere how, so that could be used in case someone wants to do the research.
I guess maybe Aurore, you can answer that.
Yes, I will try and answer that. So, so the first thing is all Copernicus marine data is accessible to everyone in every country, in free and open for everyone, absolutely everyone. And then about the in situ platforms and data, if you go on the Copernicus Marine website, you will have access to, for example, in the visualization tool, or if you browse in the catalog of products, you will see the in situ instruments in a map, and you can choose your geographical area, and you can choose the data from where you want, basically. So you can zoom in each region of the world, and there are instruments all over the world, maybe less in some parts, but you can be able to choose the region you want to and have access to everything. I hope it answers your questions.
Yeah, I made this question because of many of time it's a big challenge for us in Africa to get some data. If we want to analyze some variables like the phytoplanktons, I'm talking about my country. It's very deficient, so this is why I made this question. If that is available, so it's a great happiness to us. And thank you for. I have no question anymore.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for your question. So, okay, thanks. So we have a few hands still. Okay, so let me go to the next person. So normally, Marco, you should be able to speak now also if you have a question. I don't know if you're speaking, but you're still mute. So for now, we can't hear you. Okay, well, we can go to someone else. Maybe the person isn't in front of the screen. Okay, so okay. Okay, so now it will be the turn of Mohamed. I don't know if you can join us to ask your question. So you're not mute anymore, but we can't hear you for now. Okay. Okay. It doesn't seem, I don't think it's working on your side or on our side. I don't know if someone can hear him, but not me. Okay, so yeah. If you have a question, you can put it on the chat on the link we send to you, and we will answer it just after. But okay, so we will stop there with the question with the raise your hand function, and we will go to the usual question part we have with Slido. So thanks again to everyone who raised their hand, and yeah, we'll go to the next part of the Q&A session. Okay, so the question should be there in a few moments. Okay, and I will leave the floor to Daria to moderate this part.
Thank you. So the first question is, my question is to Ricardo about how well and accurate the sea gliders give their output. Consider the vastness and strong ocean currents.
Yes, sure. This can be messy during measurement. I operated in the Ross Sea, in the Antarctica, and in the Mediterranean Sea during the strong convection event. And yes, it's really difficult to pilot the glider in this condition, especially because the glider are like doesn't have giant, so you have to choose correctly the pathways of the current, and in specific case you are to sail through the current to reach a specific point. Obviously the glider measurements are really difficult to obtain, it's cost expensive, and it's very difficult also to make a quality control of the data. However, the glider I use, the sea glider and the Slocum glider, are extremely powerful in avoiding strong current. But if you are going to sample an area with 1 meter per second current, maybe you have to be really alert, because you can the glider can't move through the ocean. You have to find different pathways route to achieve your goal of measurement.
Okay, thank you.
And
You have something to add?
no, not at all.
Okay, great. So we mark it as answered, and that's a question to Anna. Well, actually two questions. So first is, what wave model do you use to model agitation sideboards? And are they, well, high frequency radar, as I assume, significant high data reliable? Anna?
Yes, hello. The wave model that we use in the model agitation, well, first of all, we use the one model in the regional, in more regional parts, in the coastal, then we pass through SWAN, and in agitation model, we have this agitation Samoa model. So, but it's based on the SWAN model. And are the HF radar specific high data reliable? That question, I am not sure to answer that one.
Yeah, I guess, well, you're not a provider of this data.
Exactly. Well, we have this person that works with HF data, but it's not that I can answer that. So
okay, thank you. Next question is, I assume it's for Ricardo also, who operates autonomous vessels, and have they undergone any training, and is there training available for that, for Mediterranean?
So if you are referring to the vessel used in the experiment, they are Saildrone. Saildrone is a private company of the United States, and as for the glider, we can pilot it, we can follow the track and decide the point which we have to go during the mission. And as the Saildrone is a private company, you can send an email with them and try to work with them, but not in Mediterranean because this is a USA corporate. Then for other autonomous, you can make course and master and something like that. But for me, the best way to training is the experience and file activity in the ocean.
Okay, thank you. Next question is, well, also for you, is could you provide more details on sensor degradation?
So in every measurement made with sensor can have degradation in terms of drift of the sensor. So you start to measure now and after 1 year, and you can observe a drift, like a decrease or increase, that not follow the natural evolution of the variable. Specifically, you have to consider that degradation can be due to the effect mainly of the biofouling. The biofouling are a natural evolution of the colonization of the organisms in marine environment, and in a few times, especially in coastal ocean, these can grow and your measurement are really affected with this. In this particular emission, we have to stop for 1 week because the biofouling was incredible in the hull of the ship, or the autonomous ship, and can be sailing no more. After cleaning, the Saildrone start to sail in okay. But the degradation of the sensor, the correction of the sensor are like a really strong research topic in considering all the in situ measurement we have, especially with the Argo data, and the long-lasting measurement like mooring and coastal station. To do this, there are some tools that can be installed on the sensor, like in copper. They provide like a barrier on the sensor. However, the best way is go to your station and clean the sensor. And after doing this, you are sure that you do not have any biofouling growth. However, if you are going to autonomous instruments that are measured in the open ocean, are more difficult, and there are 20 years of research dealing with, especially with the Argo float, and you can read a lot of paper. I can suggest one of BITIG dealing, every BITIG dealing the oxygen correction and the oxygen problem in the ocean, to have an idea about this problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question is for Anna. Is there any expected product tackling the shipping traffic derived pollution in Spanish ports? And if not, do you think Copernicus service could help in that?
Well, as I'm working on ocean predictions, and it's basically about physical stuff, so I am not sure. Maybe there is some shipping traffic, the river pollution in Spanish ports, but it's not my part of work, and maybe the Copernicus will have, but really I can't answer that question.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Next question is for both of you. Can Copernicus sea surface currents be used to validate estimated currents, or should I rely on in situ measurements for accurate validation?
Well, I think that the best would be to compare both using the sea surface currents from Copernicus and then as well in situ measurements. So this is what we've done in our case. We always validate our model with another models and as well with the in situ data to be sure that it's worked correctly.
Ricardo, you have something to add?
Yes. I think that you have to understand what you want to find, because the Copernicus has different product, like a geostrophic current or current. Geostrophic is the current obtained through the temperature and salinity data and for altimetry. In that way, you have a specific resolution to study the mesoscale, and you have considering the resolution of the satellite. But we have also the model, and with the model you can go through the data and understand maybe better the pathways of the current. If you are in the open ocean or if you are in the coastal environment, this can be really different. And it's okay.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe.
Yeah, sorry, you have something to add?
No. I have just read the question.
Okay, sorry. So the next question, I think
yes,
it's more to Mercator Ocean International, maybe. In the past, Copernicus data was not reliable at the coastal level. There was a lot of emptiness, and have updates made it possible to answer this problem?
It's because I have published a paper on the coastal sea using Copernicus data, in which we compare the data from temperature, salinity, and chlorophyll A with the model data and satellite output, and we observe a strong correlation with temperature, moderate with the salinity, and not bad with the chlorophyll. Then, applying EOF analysis, we are able to understand the temporal variability and in terms of explained variance. And we observe a good agreement between the models. It's obviously that the considering the biogeochemical product, there are some issues related with the coastal ocean, because the model doesn't have any river output or the really runoff data, but have an estimation of it. And also with this, considering the chlorophyll and the fluorescence like the phytoplankton, we are able to understand the temporal variability of the seasonal cycle of the phytoplankton. We have some issue with the absolute values comparing data between chlorophyll obtained from the probe and from the model, but the results are very good, and we are able to understand the bloom dynamics in a coastal site, both using in situ data and numerical model.
Okay, thank you, Ricardo. Is there anything to add for this question? Cedric, Aurora, no? Okay, so we can say that it's good. So this question for Ricardo, what statistical tool is best to analyze different sets of products? In your case, which one is for you the most often used?
In terms of statistical tools, there are a lot of metrics to compare the data, like direct comparison, root mean square error and something like that. Now you have to consider what you want to do with your data. If you want to study a process, you have to be sure that the variability from the in situ data, so the real data, are in line with the variability observed for the model output data, because this is the case comparing model output with in situ data. I think that using, if your data are comparable in terms of some statistical advanced analysis. So if you have a long time series with your data, you can compare it through the use of EOF, empirical orthogonal function, to understand the explained variance. So as one of the mode to the variability can be represented by the model. However, if you don't have, you have a single point data, you can do this analysis, but you can compare in terms of absolute values, make like a linear regression or very simple analysis in this. In my opinion, there is one best tools to do this. You have to decide it based on your data.
Okay, thank you. Next question is for Anna. In your slide for oceanographic database of Puertos using real-time data collection, is there any limitation to access the data from Copernicus?
No, there is no any limitation to access the data, but if you need anything that it's not there, you can contact directly Puertos del Estado, because we have this team that it works with in situ data, and it's as well depends on which kind of data do you want, but I think there is no limitation at Copernicus.
Okay, thank you.
No, indeed, no limitation. You can download all the data you want, you need, you wish. There's no limitation.
Okay, great. Thank you, Cedric. Next question, back to the pollution question. Does anyone from Copernicus know of reliable resources for monitoring oceanic pollution, not plastic? I don't know for who this question might be. Yeah, Aurora, okay.
Do you hear me well? Yeah.
Yep.
So again, if you browse into the catalog, you can have access to mainly in the green ocean to some data about the pollution. But I would like to also remind that for all the questions about the catalog and the data itself, there will be a specific session in 2 weeks, I think, about the exploration of the catalog itself. So maybe this question will be also answered, because today we didn't really enter into the data itself. We presented the services. So maybe it will be interesting to listen to the next session of this webinar for the people who have specific questions about the different variables in data.
Okay, thank you. Next question for everyone, I assume to Ricardo and Anna. in particular. Would you guys say that there is a need for more oceanographic buoys to be deployed in Mediterranean basin?
Yes, of course, there is always a need to add more buoys because we have 14 the coastal buoy, but it's in all Spain. So of course there's a need to have more, but it's not so easy because they are quite expensive. We are searching for new kind of buoys, but as well, it is not that I'm working. I have my colleague working with buoys and that. So yeah, obviously there is a need.
Ricardo, you have something to add?
Also for me, but you have to consider the cost of the infrastructure because the costs are very high.
Exactly.
If you are sample a surface, you need only one measurement for each variable. But if you are measure entire column, you need more point in between the surface and the ocean floor. This is very difficult. And also you have to make maintenance of this data. You have to have a server to store the data. So it's very difficult to have a lot of this. They can be really useful in terms of understanding the change of the climate or something like that. But these imply very high cost. And you have to consider this because we don't have a lot of money in research, and you have to make a decision and choose to decide which place is better to monitor. And with this, we can use the model output to provide an idea of the variability of the specific location, as we do not have any measurement station here.
Okay, thank you. Next question is for Anna. Does your team use machine learning or deep learning models for forecasts? If so, could you share which models and the data they are trained on?
No, we don't use any machine learning or deep learning models for forecasts, but we are very interesting. We are in fact looking into make some training and later to learn and try to do it. So yes, it's something that this is our the future thing that we want to do.
Okay, thank you. Next question, how does Copernicus ensure data accuracy and reliability for aquaculture and fisheries parameters, for example, sea surface, temperature, and currents? I guess that's for Aurora and Cedric.
I can try to answer
Mm-hmm.
that. So about data accuracy and reliability in general, for each product and each parameter that is displayed on Copernicus Marine, there is a specific document called the Quality Information Document, in which you can find all the steps and how we validate the data. So it's very technical document in which you can find the very how is validated is each variable, and also you can have access to what we call the product quality dashboard, available in the website as well, about data quality. So I think you will find what you need.
Okay, thank you. Next question is also for user support, mostly. Can the data be accessed through API?
Yes, I share my screen to show you the article in the App Center. Through the Copernicus Toolbox API, you can subset the data you need. And so I encourage you to follow all the information available in the article. You have a video at the beginning. And so the answer is yes, you can access through the API, an API.
Okay, great, thank you. We still have 1 minute for next question. Let's see, maybe this one. In this scale, the AI is implemented inside the process of collecting data. So maybe also for Aurora or Cedric, if
to be honest, I don't know because I don't know at what level the AI is used by the producers to collect or produce the data. So, unfortunately, I cannot answer the question.
I think it depends, of course, on the products and on the producers, because variables and parameters accessible in Copernicus comes from very different production centers and a lot of different institutions. And I know that some of them are starting to use AI to improve some models, for example, and so on. But we can't have a very specific view on this today.
Okay, thank you. So we still have many questions, but we don't have, unfortunately, time to respond on all of them. But yeah, you do not worry, because we will collect all these questions. We will have answers to them from our speakers today, and it will be provided to you on the website of the webinar as well. So for that, we conclude our Q&A session. Thank you everyone for participating. Thank you for speakers to have answers, and of course to you participants to be active and asking all those questions. Think we can move to closing of this session with some additional words. I think I do not see the slides yet, because we have yes, okay, slides are, yes, because as I said, we have on the website of this webinar, this event, you can access all the information from this webinar. For example, you have Q&A in which you will find polls and surveys to answer. So please, if you did not do that yet, you can go there and respond. It will help us to understand also your needs for such events in the future. There are also replays, a tab for replays. So everything what's been said today is recorded, so you can rewatch it again if you need to. And also there's some information about certificate of attendance. And as I said as well, there's going to be later going to be answers to the questions, but haven't been answered right now during the Q&A session. And for the last point, yes, we would like to invite you for the next session. So it's the second session of this webinar series, which is focused on access marine data. It's going to take place on 15th of April, so also at 10 a.m. And as we saw today, we saw introduction to Copernicus Marine Service, to the tools, to materials, and of course we had use cases of our speakers. And access marine data webinar will be more we'll look more in depth of tools that you can use, like viewer and how to access data, how to download it. And of course, we will also have speakers, external speakers, who will present their work using Copernicus Marine Service data. So yeah, save a date. We are waiting for you. And on that, Gael, you want to add something, or?
No, we are all good. Thanks everyone for joining us, and see you in 2 weeks' time. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much for
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See you. Bye-bye.